was back in 1999 when BMW started this SUV offensive with the X5, which then led into a X lineup expansion. Now BMW covers a wide spectrum of the SUV segment. They have the X1, the X2, the X3, the X4, the X5, the recently launched X6, which is absent here today because apparently they have all been sold out for now, and they have the BMW X7 to complete the lineup. Year 2020 has been about accepting and adapting to new normal. Wearing a face mask is a new normal. That face over there is also a new normal. So my advice to you would be, just get used to it. This behemoth of a thing is the big daddy of all BMW X models, codenamed the G07, which is basically a luxurious 7 Series in SUV form. It has received multiple criticisms and even threats since its birth because of its size and looks, especially with that face. Now, first of all, the size is not something new in the market. In fact, BMW is a bit late in joining the super-size SUV. In our market, there is the Range Rovers and Lexus LX. As for the grille, well, I know most of you guys are still laughing about it. Some say it can mince cats and at the same time grill them. Well, you know, it has to be done this way. It needs to be huge in order to be proportional to the size of the car. I didn't know there's like a prehistoric ancient manuscript that says, kidney grill, only this size. Have you seen the grill on the Lexus LX? Come on guys. I don't know about you, but I do really like how it looks. In fact, I think this is the perfect new villain car to replace those blacked out Range Rovers in Hollywood blockbusters. I fell in love with it right away when I first saw it in Portugal, but there was the M50D with the M Sport kit all around. This xDrive40i with pure excellence kit just seems to lack something, macam kurang sikit. But it is still very imposing. It is 2 meters wide, 1.8 meters tall, 5.15 meters long. The wheelbase itself is 3.1 meters. You can actually almost fit a canchill in between those two axles. Even the emblem has to be bigger. The biggest, in fact, at 95 mm in diameter, the same one from the 7 Series, to match that sheer size of the hood. Within the large grille is the active grille shutter to improve aero. The slits at the bottom and at the sides, they are real and functional. It is to create an air curtain around the wheel and also to release the air pressure in the wheel arch, all to reduce drag. These ginormous wheels are 21-inch in size with 285/45 tyres. They look great, don't they? I feel tiny standing next to this thing with it towering over me. The car runs on air suspension all around. There are 5 ride heights to choose from. It is currently on the center ride height. This is how it looks like when it goes all the way up. And this is how it looks like when it goes all the way down. Fancy, eh? Now, from the side profile, together with this Hofmeister kink, it is unmistakably a BMW. Around the back, you get this chrome strip that runs across the tailgate that comes straight from the 7 Series. It gives it a bit more width. I like the taillights design. It comes with dual tailpipes and finish off with a skid plate right at the bottom of it. Now, staring at this, at the traffic lights, it does exude grandeur, and I don't think you want to mess with it. It looks great, right? By the way guys, many of you guys have been asking about our t-shirts, and if you want to get them, you can get them now on our online store. The link is right in the description box below. Do get them now. Getting into the car is actually quite a task, especially if you're shorter than 170 cm. I'm 175 cm, even I have to toss my ass into the seat. It rides quite high, almost as high as a pickup truck. But the ambience in here is a different story altogether. It looks and feels very expensive. This part especially, it looks like it is worth all the money here. It is packed with BMW crafted clarity, with glass gear knob, glass iDrive controller, and glass engine start button. It looks really nice. The steering wheel has nothing much to shout about. It is the same as the one in the 7 Series with lots of buttons on it, including the driver assistant buttons as well. It comes with paddle shifters, which is great. The middle cluster is the latest, fully digitized with 3 different views to choose from depending on your driving mode. There is Comfort, Eco Pro, Sport and Adaptive. Head-up display is coloured. It is the best in the business in my opinion. The center display is a 12.3-inch touchscreen with BMW's latest Live Cockpit Professional. It is Apple CarPlay compatible as well. It looks great, really sharp. Now, we people are very difficult creatures because I usually complain when the screen doesn't come with touchscreen compatibility, but here I find myself using the iDrive controller more than touching it. Don't get me wrong, the screen works fine, it is very smooth and very responsive, but the iDrive controller just gives you a very nice experience. Other than using this, you can also use air gesture by just fingering it, or also voice command. You can just activate it by saying, "Hi BMW."
Hello, what can I help you with?
You can actually change the activation word to something else. For example, "Hey Mercedes" or "Hi Proton." I actually did that with the 8 Series convertible back in Portugal when I had it there. You can watch the video in the top right hand corner now. The head unit is connected to a 16-speaker Harman Kardon audio system. You do get surround view camera as well. And also, just like the G20 330i, you get the reverse assistant feature, which I did a demonstration in my previous video. You can watch that up there as well. Now, moving along, climate control settings are very direct and easy to use. You get a little LCD screen here showing you the temperature settings and all, which is very clear. Audio control, very BMW setup. Down here, you do get 2 cup holders, wireless charging and some space. Now, this wireless charging is the place where you put your digital key to activate or start the car. Back to my favorite part here, the center console. It looks really great. It might seem a bit complicated, but it is very well organized. You get to adjust the right height here as well. You do get some space in the center armrest. The leather on the seats though, they are not the softest in the market, but comfortable nonetheless. And you do get this really nice material on the roof lining. Expensive, yo. In this second row, you can choose to have a different seat configuration. Here I get a bench with a 3-seater configuration. You can go for the 2-seater captain style seat with an aisle right in the middle for your passenger to access the third row. But I'm surprised BMW doesn't offer a configuration with a console right in the middle, because this is usually a boss's car. Even Mazda has that for the CX-8. You do get these 2 screens right here. They are touch screens, 10.2-inch. You can control your audio, navigation, and even watch a movie here. If you are not into all that, you can just look up and enjoy the sky, because you get this huge, I mean huge panoramic sunroof with sky lounge. You get these little dots that illuminates at night with the colors of your choice. You get air vents in the middle here and on the B pillar as well. Dual zone climate control, a CD slot. If I'm not wrong, it does support Blu-ray for your movies. Further down, you get 2 USB-C chargers, and also you get this automated sunscreen as well. Now, sitting back here, you do get to experience and feel how big this car actually is. Before I move into the third row seat, I should actually mention that all seats in this car are powered seats. So with the touch of the button, it does the job for you. Gracefully and slowly. Apparently it's for safety reasons. There you go, just like that, giving you a space. Oh dear, the seats are folded down. What should I do? Fret not. There are buttons over here. Just press them and it should do the job. Rise, my friends. There you go. Okay, let's do this. I'll try to be as graceful as possible because, yeah, it's pretty tight back here. I need to close the door. Move this seat back to its original position. Oh, see, it's comfortable. Now let's find out how much leg room I have. Oh, right. Okay. Yep, it's sufficient. You do get your own little sunroof though, and also climate control as well. So this car actually has a 5-zone climate control. You get this air vent over here, USB chargers, cup holder. Now, about this leg room. The thing is, it depends on how generous your front passenger is, because there is no button for you to move this seat forward. So you need to be nice to the passenger right in front of you. Yeah, but other than that, it's actually quite comfortable. Just like the X5, this comes with a split tailgate, which means you do get this little picnic bench. almost like the one in the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. And if you need to load in stuff, so you want to lower the car, you can do that as well with the press of a button, and the S suspension will then gladly obey by lowering it down to 40mm. You can also control all the seats with the buttons over here. If you need maximum boot space, with a press of a button, it will then do its job for you. Now you get a whopping 2,120 litres of boot space. With the second row up, you get 750 litres. With the third row up, you still get 326 litres of boot space. And if you need all the seats up for your passengers, just simply press this button over here and it will do it all for you. To the things I like and don't like about this car. I like it that the ambient lightings on all the doors will pulsate in red when the doors are open to remind you that you have not shut the doors properly. They even have it on the third row seats panel to probably tell you, you idiot, you forgot to close the door. Yeah. All the glasses in this car are double glazed to filter out all the noise from the outside, giving you a pleasant and smooth ride. I like it that the car actually burbles every time when you crank it up. The doors feel solid and weighty, which is nice, but which also means you need a bit of strength to swing it in order to close it. But if you want to maintain your finesse, because you're a dutty, you can do it gently and it will do the rest for you. Soft close, yo! You get ISOFIX in these third row seats, which means if you have 4 kids that need 4 child seats, this is the car for you. To the things that I don't like about this car, starting with the side step. It is a bit too narrow and placed slightly too high, which is partly why I need to hop into the seat. And for you to get out of it, you will eventually miss it and you hop out again. Now, the worst is, you will be rubbing your pants on the side step and stain it all the time. The iDrive head unit comes with Apple CarPlay but not Android Auto. BMW, why? Don't lari sumine. If you're a boss like myself, you don't get any settings here for the seat in front of you for you to get more space. You need to do manual labor to get it done by yelling at your driver. Hey, Pinga, I need more space. Hey, no, not my seat, this seat. Yeah, that's right. Slow, but it gets there. Hey, you fired, tomorrow you come work. I have to manually put the headrest up in this third row myself. I protest to manual labor. Who's with me? Who's with me? So this xDrive40i is powered by a 3-litre twin-scroll turbocharged inline-6 engine with a 8-speed automatic ZF gearbox, which is a great combination if you ask me. It makes 340 horsepower and 450 Nm of torque. This block of over 2.3-ton machine gets you from 0 to 100 in just 6.1 seconds. The M50D with the quad-turbo diesel engine, 5.4 seconds. On top of all the standard safety features, this car is capable of semi-autonomous driving through the driver assistance professional feature. It includes lane keep assist, lane departure warning, lane change assistant, front collision warning with brake intervention. What's great about this car is the active cruise control comes with stop and go function. Unlike the ones in the Volvo where when the car comes to a complete stop, you will require to touch the throttle pedal just a little bit to get the car going again. That is to make sure that you are paying attention on the road. Here, it uses a camera that is installed at the instrument cluster to read your attentiveness by monitoring your face angle and eye level to make sure that you are paying attention to the road before it moves along automatically for you without needing you to touch the throttle pedal. So now, how does it drive? It is a big car, obviously, and it does drive like a big car. It is a heavy one as well. So it takes off as a block of metal smoothly and gracefully. and it's very quiet as well. Once you take it up to speed, you will then be able to feel the weight and the momentum of this 2.3-ton machine charging forward. And at times, I do have to admit, I panic a little, thinking that this car might not stop in time for the idiot that just veered into my lane. So I blasted the horn, which is a natural instinct, right? But in actual fact, the brakes are able to stop the car in time. So it was quite embarrassing. To take the car up to speed, it is effortless. The inline 6 is so smooth, sounds good, and that sweet gearbox, it just goes. Now the ride though, yeah, it rides on air suspension, it's comfortable, no doubt about that. But most of the time, you do feel that the car is overcompensating a bit. It does feel a bit roly-poly, especially for a car this tall. You get this very weird sway every time you go over an undulation. It goes bouncy. This happens when you are on Comfort and Eco Pro mode, where the ride height is right in the middle of the 5 ride heights. But once you go on Sport mode, the car sort of transforms itself. It is lowered by a notch, the suspension stiffens, and the sway is kind of gone. The bouncy feeling. And it takes away a big chunk of body roll as well. Can it go off-road? Yeah, it can. Am I going to do it? Well, I guess like most of the people who buy such a car, I'm not going to do it. And if you live in Malaysia long enough, you realize actually most of the people who buy LX 570s are construction people, developers and contractors. So I would like to see such a car covered in mud, being all manly and macho. Here comes the big but. Well, it is not as big as the butt of this car, but it is still there. I think this car lacks a certain level of opulence. Yeah, I've said it. It is weird that you don't get this sense of tranquility when you are in such an expensive car. I usually blame it on BMW's seat, just like the ones in the 7 Series. They are just not as plush as the one in the S-Class. The bench especially. It will feel and look so much better if they are captain seats. But, well, a butt within the butt. But I guess it makes it up by giving you driving pleasure, because once you put it on sport mode, the car really goes. It can rev its way all the way up to red line, about 7,000 RPM, to a point where it is quite comedic when you take it around bends really fast and it can still hold the line. A car this big, with you giggling behind the wheel. I really like it. I really like the looks of this car. I think it is great to drive and to be driven in. I like the presence, I like the attention that it gets on the road. But I do wonder why did BMW took 20 years to come up with this. They even bothered to come up with those even-numbered X models, which are basically coupe-style SUVs. But they took their time with this. And guess what? There will be an X8 coming soon. I guess this is not the model that completes the lineup. The X-Files continue.
So, is this car for you? Well, if you're looking for an SUV that screams luxury and presence wherever you go, or simply because you are a villain looking for a new ride, then yes. But if you seek a certain level of opulence, tranquility, or perhaps it's just too big for you, then probably not. There are 6 other BMW X models for you to choose from. If you want to find out more about this first ever BMW X7, do log on to AutoBuzz.my. If you like this video, do give us a thumbs up, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the logo or the subscribe button below. And please remember to click on the notification bell to receive updates whenever we upload a new video. Thank you for watching. Dankeschön. My advice to you is, I still can't get around whether which is the top, which is bottom.
Four kids with 4 choices of the position.
This automated